Let's have a frank discussion on layer styles. Number one, what's the definition of these things? Layer styles are really special effects. They can be quickly applied to any layer in Photoshop. You cannot apply a layer style to the background. It has to be converted to a layer first. They drastically change the appearance in very little time. They can be preset, customized, or even saved and used for later, which makes them very valuable. One of the most useful properties of layer styles, in my opinion, is their relationship to the layer contents. In other words, the style is actually a separate entity. So if we apply, for example, a drop shadow to a layer, if I change the size of the word drop shadow, the drop shadow will actually rewrite itself and look just as good, small, large, anywhere we want it to be. So they have this ability to rewrite themselves based on what we're doing to the contents of the layer. Anytime you add one, and incidentally, you do that by clicking this button right here, and there's your layer styles. When you add a layer style to a layer, like drop shadow, you'll see the FX button right here. If you click that button, it will open up and tell you what you did. You want to turn it off? You can turn it off right here. So that button gives me control and re-access to that style. So we can do a drop shadow. We could do a pattern overlay if we want to, or we can combine pattern overlays plus a bevel and emboss plus a drop shadow. If we open up this one, as you can see, we have all the individual pieces. You don't want to see one. You want to see the drop shadow without the pattern overlay. Go ahead and click here. You want to see it without the bevel and emboss. You get the idea. Once you've got it down, you can do that. You say, Andy, now that I've seen it, I really don't want the bevel and emboss. Don't need it. Don't want to turn it off. Want to get rid of it. Just drag it to the trash can. Select bevel and emboss right here and drag it to the trash can. Now you have a drop shadow and a pattern overlay. Just remember, we create them on a layer by selecting the layer and then clicking this button right here. They are non-destructive, which means I can come back tomorrow and change my mind and get rid of it, which is a great feature of layer styles. I can save them, which we'll talk about later. I can do just about anything I want in a very quick, what I would call a down and dirty way. So there's Layer Styles 101.